Bless you. I want to talk to you today about you're going to laugh again. We all go through seasons of struggle and seasons where we're dealing with an illness, the loss of a loved one, a relationship didn't work out. We don't understand. It doesn't seem fair. And it's easy to think that the suffering, the struggle, the weeping is the way it's always going to be. I met a young couple. They were in town for treatment at the medical center. He had just been diagnosed with a very serious illness. As they held their little children, they wept and wept, so devastated. But God never promised that we wouldn't have seasons of weeping, seasons of struggle. But Jesus said in Luke 6, "Blessed are those who weep now, for in due time you will laugh." The promise God makes us is the suffering is only a season. The weeping is not how your story ends. You're going to laugh again. God sees what you're going through. He knows what wasn't fair, the lonely nights, the pain, the heartache. The scripture says He's collected all of your tears. You may have felt alone, but He's been right there with you. And the good news is He's not going to leave you in suffering. He's not going to leave you brokenhearted, weighed down with burdens. 1 Peter says, after you have suffered a little while, not your whole life, not the next 20 years, but after a little while, it goes on to say, God Himself will strengthen you, establish you, and put you back on your feet. You may be in a season of suffering, season of struggle. You feel stuck in your health, your marriage, your finances. Seems like it's never going to get better. No, God Himself is about to step in and do what only He can do. And when you see how He restores you, how He pays you back for what was unfair, how He brings you out better, your mourning is going to be turned to dancing. Your sorrow turned to joy. That weeping turned to laughter. Don't believe those lies that you'll always be lonely. You'll always mourn that loss, always be brokenhearted over that child. No, your time is coming. The psalmist said, weeping may endure for a night, but joy is coming in the morning. Notice, weeping may endure. May means it's not certain. It's questionable. But here's the promise, joy is coming. Not maybe, not hope so. There's a good chance. The Most High God says joy is on the way. You're going to laugh again. You're going to dream again. You're going to love again. You're going to see God's blessing in such a way that all you can do is laugh. Laugh in amazement. Laugh in gratitude. Laugh at the goodness of God. This is what happened to the Israelites. They had been living in Jerusalem when King Nebuchadnezzar came and attacked the city. He captured them, put them in chains, took them to Babylon. Here they were enjoying life, raising their children, going to work. Everything changed. Now they were in this season of suffering, being mistreated, wondering, God, where are you? Why is this happening? Year went by, and they prayed for freedom, believed they'd be released, but nothing. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Finally, they accepted it. This suffering is our destiny, being mistreated, taken advantage of. We just have to get used to it. It says in Psalm 37, they went down to the rivers in Babylon and wept as they remembered Jerusalem. As they thought about what used to be, the joy they used to have, all they could do was weep. The Babylonians asked them to sing the songs of Jerusalem. Let us hear those joyful melodies we've heard about. The Israelites said, how can we sing? We're in mourning. We're captive. Our hearts are heavy. The pain is too real, the suffering too great. They hung up their harps on the willow trees, put away their instruments. They were in a season of weeping. And sometimes we think it's weak to weep. Come on, be strong, get it together. But God made us to feel things. There are times the pressure is so great, the loss so heavy, the disappointment so discouraging, we don't think we can go on. That's why He said weeping may endure for a night. You may go through a season of weeping, something that's breaking your heart, feels too much to carry. Weeping is not a lack of faith. Doesn't mean you're not tough enough. It means that your heart is working. It means that you care deeply. One time David came back home and saw that his city had been attacked and all the wives and children had been kidnapped. The scripture says he wept until he could not weep anymore. Now, David was a warrior. He'd killed a lion and a bear with his hands. He had defeated Goliath. He was this strong, feared, courageous leader. But there were times he felt so overcome, so heavy that he wept. That's the way the Israelites were. There was nothing they could do. They were slaves. The Babylonians were bigger, stronger, had more people, more equipment. Looked like the suffering, the heartache, the weeping was permanent. How could they ever break free? But here's the key. God has already scheduled a time to end the suffering. He's already set the time to end the heartache, to bring you out of what's held you captive, to turn around what's causing the tears. After